EFF's Julius Malema says the party rejects the new inflation targeting, warning it could raise borrowing costs, and he also adds there is no clear plan to address unemployment, policing or defense issues.
Doctor, let's get your thoughts just on the budget.
Well, we reject this new inflation targeting because we think that it's going to increase the cost of borrowing. And we know at the center of borrowing is the masses of our people. There's a repetition of what he said at the beginning of the year. There's no clear plan on how we're going to deal with unemployment, how are we going to deal with policing in South Africa, because we've got a serious problem of resources in the police, and how are we going to deal with issues of defense itself. As we're speaking today, everybody's complaining about borders that are pouring. Part of the people who can help us to maintain stability and order in those borders is the army. Our army is not properly funded, and we've seen that when they were in the DRC. This is basically making sure that they outsource that which government is supposed to do. They are making sure that the private sector is at the right position to compete with services that should be provided by the state. In that, you are undermining the state capacity to deal massively with infrastructural development. There's no clear plan on how to increase health and how to deal with issues of unemployment and also the deteriorating infrastructure in South Africa.
If it wasn't for inflation targeting, what would you have preferred?
No, we must sustain what we agreed on earlier. But because the governor of the Reserve Bank unilaterally just makes a decision, and we want to be dancing to the tune of the private sector and so-called foreign investment, we end up changing our inflation targeting because we want to impress the few. That's why the EFF says the Reserve Bank must be nationalized, because it takes decisions that are not based in the interest of the working class in South Africa.
Yeah, giving them all these aspects, however, would say that we're getting more revenue, spending a little bit more as well at this time. Is that helpful to South Africa's economy, as you heard it from the speech?
Well, more revenue means more into their pockets. You know that they steal. The more money we make, the more money we save, the more corruption goes high. No clear strategy on how to deal with corruption, because we can have surplus, we can grow the economy, we can have more revenue, but in the absence of a clear strategy on how you're going to fight corruption, is equal as not having collected more, because it means nothing.
All right, we're going to cut out of that. That is the leader.